Obasanjo takes swipe at Tinubu, says two of administration decisions were necessary but wrongly implemented. Of course. They are not just two. I think I have a bunch of them. Let's hear what Obiji has to say. The news in detail. Former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo has took a swap at two out of three present administration's policies, declaring that while the two out of three were necessary, they were, however, wrongly implemented. In a statement made available to newsmen in Abeokuta, Ogun State capital by his special assistant on media, Kehinde Akinyemi, on Sunday, Obasanjo hinted that the third decision was the position in dealing with the coup in Niger. The former president made this remark at a colloquium, Nigeria's Development, Navigating the Way Out of the Current Economic Crisis and Insecurity, delivered at the Paul Ajay Colloquium PAC Park in Abuja at the weekend. Obasanjo also took a swipe at those against his position on a much-touted refurbished refinery at Port Harcourt, River State, describing them as sycophants and spin doctors. He declared that the such people failed to remember that the attempt that was made in 2007 to partly privatize the refineries were made by him after a thorough study of the situation, hence his knowledge and better understanding of the situation before making his decision late last year. On what could be described as his position on the 365 days of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration, the former president also posited ways out of a situation in the country, including a 25-year development agenda. Today, the government has taken three decisions, which two of which are necessary but wrongly implemented and have led to impoverization of the economy and of Nigerians. These are the removal of subsidy, closing the gap between the black market and official rate of exchange, and the third is dealing with the military coup in Niger Republic. The way forward is production and productivity, which belief and trust in government leadership will engender. No shortcut to economic progress but hard work and sweat. To him, economy does not obey orders, not even military orders. I know that. If we get it right in 2 years, we'll begin to see the light beyond the tunnel. It requires a change of characteristics, attributes, and attitude by the leadership at all levels to gain the confidence and trust of investors who have alternative. He goes further. Total Energy has gone to invest $6 billion in Angola instead of Nigeria. If the truth must be stated, the present administration has not found the right way to handle the economy to engender confidence and trust for investors to start trooping in. They know us more than we know ourselves, and now they're laughing at us, not taking us seriously. We have to present ourselves in such a way that we will be taken seriously. If the existing investors are disinvesting and going out of our country, how do we persuade new investors to rush in? We can be serious if we choose to be, but we need to change from transactional leadership in government to transformational and genuine servant leadership. We change by us, the investors will give us the benefit of doubt and security being taken care of on sustainable long-term basis. They will start to test the water. With the right economic policies, attributes of integrity and honesty of purpose, all should be well with all hands on deck and government become a catalyst for development, growth, and progress. To conclude on the economy, tinkering with exchange rate is not the answer. The answer is consistency and continuity in policy to ensure stability and predictability. That way, we will be sure of incentivizing domestic and foreign investment. There must be honesty and transparency in government dealings, and contracts are not lie with deception about these issues. When government is seen as pursuing the right policy, the private sector will go for production and productivity. Change is possible, but it must begin with leadership. The former president's reaction to the refinery issue was coming barely 6 months after they claimed that the refinery would begin operation in January. He noted that to get out of the current situation of a country, the government and the governed needed to look at the past and the present and ask, how do we get here? Looking at the topic of today's occasion, the question I would ask is, how do we navigate our way out of this crisis and pave the path towards a more secure and prosperous Nigeria? I believe the answer to this requires a multifaceted approach that addresses the root causes of these challenges. The central questions are: where were we? And how did we get to where we are today? According to Obasanjo, firstly, we must know where we are coming from. Our economy has consistently suffered from poor policies, lack of long term sustainable policies, discontinuity, ad hoc and corruption framed on personal greed, avarice, incompetence, lack of knowledge and understanding, and lack of patriotism. For instance, the statement and proposed action given 45 years ago to stop fuel scarcity is the same statement and action being touted today. I recall when I made the statement that the refineries would not work, the sycophants and spin doctors of this current administration went out to castigate me as not being a petroleum engineer and that I did not know what I was talking about. They forgot that the attempt that was made in 2007 to partly privatize the refineries was made by me after a thorough study of the situation. But the decision was reversed by my successor, and the $750 million paid was refunded. On the way out, the former president disclosed that the country needed a 25-year socio-economic development agenda that would be generally agreed to by the nation of all political parties and passed into law by the National Assembly with state assembly aspects and passed into law by the state houses of assembly. We take up the implementation on a 5-year basis. In reality, that plan will have the effect of almost a constitution. The first priority in the implementation will be education for all. The second should be food and nutrition security through agribusiness. The third should be energy for all. The fourth should be industrialization and manufacturing. And the fifth should be science, technology, innovation, and artificial intelligence, AI. In all this, the government should provide conducive environment for private sector to operate and thrive, and where government will be involved, at all other than as policymaker and enabler. It should be on the basis of private-public partnership with government as junior partner. On the security, we need stick and carrot approach. Stick to deal with those who cannot be weaned out of criminality and evil deeds, and for those weaned, they should be rehabilitated. There should be no Nigerian without being in school compulsorily for 11 years, secondary education level. Employment must be a right for all Nigerians from age 18 years to 65 years. With short carrots in position, the stick must then be made more severe for criminals. 5 years must be set out to ensure that every Nigerian child that is not in school is in school and no one is left out of popular education. Adult education should be embarked upon to give every Nigerian basic education equivalent to 6 years of formal education. We should give ourselves 10 years to rid Nigeria of illiteracy. No matter what we do, if we do not find a way of educating, giving skills and empowerment, over 20 million Nigerian children that are out of school today will end up being rich recruitment center for drug addicts, Boko Haram, bandits, and other social misfits. For those who always say, they don't used to suggest, this is a beautiful suggestion. In all these things that OBJ has said, there are things I have also suggested before. And I think things also other people have suggested. If I were Tinubu, even though I know go come as I can't talk or acknowledge this, I'm going to take this and take out which one is going to be beneficial to the country. And, start implementing them. All right, on this note, we come to the end of the news. So thank you for tuning in to listen until I come your way next time. Enjoy the rest of your day.